some of the effects of what's happened recently actually started before the pandemic. But what we've seen is that being accelerated during the pandemic. And especially in my discipline of geoscience, we've seen a reduction in course offerings based on student numbers or the profitability of students. And then that's followed through to reduction in workforce. So obviously you need less educators if you've got less students or less courses to deliver. And so that knock-on effect has seen a number of earth science departments, and also this is broad and applies to science, but seen earth science departments especially hard hit across New South Wales and down the East Coast especially, including my own department, which proposed effectively to close the earth science part and just keep 2 remaining people.
So how do you quantify that knock-on effect as you describe it, that loss of knowledge and expertise in the field?
There's a huge knock-on effect. So obviously, this is an impact on people's lives and our research capability for the country. And it's also how we can address then global challenges and the challenges that Australia is facing. And especially in earth science, where we focus on, management of water, mineral, energy resources. We're important in that transition to achieve the sustainable development goals. And the knock-on effect not only impacts those directly affected right now, but it also affects the next generation of earth scientists coming through who are now without supervisors, without mentors, and also looking upwards and feeling that there's so much job insecurity through a period where in the early career of their research, there's always, been these short-term contracts. And now they're seeing a continuous job insecurity and a lot of uncertainty and stress and challenges ahead in an academic career. And so I really feel that there needs to be greater support and government investment in science to protect scientists. And like we've seen in the pandemic, scientists have been at the forefront of those challenges and seen us through that.
You and your husband have been personally affected. Tell me your story.
Yeah, so we've undergone change in our department from proposed mergers since 2019. So we've had a period of about 2 years of continuous change and extended proposals to downsize the department. And so this year last year, when they started to announce that there'd be a further change and a very significant reduction in earth science capability in our university, I decided that I didn't want to, put myself in a position to be fighting amongst colleagues for remaining positions, colleagues and friends of 14 years, and wanted to take kind of control of my own future. So I applied for voluntary redundancy. And my husband also, who's a professor in the department, did the same.
And so is your only option now to look for work overseas?
So at the moment, it's obviously a very difficult time. There's been over 17,000 people in the university sector who have lost their jobs last year, and that number will probably continue to grow at the moment. And so it's a hard time to be looking for work within Australia, within my specific area of expertise. And so also trying to find 2 jobs in the same department or the same city, is very difficult at the best of time. And so, yes, we're unfortunately having to look overseas for future employment options.
Is there any sense in the academic world that Australia made higher education too big a business and relied too heavily on international students?
I think that's a very broad discussion. And I know that Science and Technology Australia, the survey really shows that scientists are suffering at the moment. And so, whatever challenges we've faced or whatever models being created in the tertiary sector, I think it's a really good time for employees in the tertiary sector to really think about how they can move forwards and increase job security for their scientists.